Hello, everyone. My name is Nicholas Wayne Zandy. That is Nicklas space Waine space Zende. After serving many years as an election inspector, I ran for Lansing City Council 2 years ago, which I lost. After my first campaign, I was initially hesitant to run again, but after I talked with a few constituents and friends and family, I decided that I had to run for city council again. I've lived in the city of Lansing for my whole life, and it pains me to see that our government is as corrupt and complacent as it is. Houses and roads are in terrible condition and are in disrepair. Neighborhood associations have been lost over the years, including my own. And the city has contracted with developers who have really horrendous backgrounds, to say the least. We can't afford to maintain the status quo, and we need change right now, which is why I'm running, and I hope to bring a new Lansing to everyone.
Ms. Washington, you're next. 3 minutes, please.
Thank you very much. I'm Jody Washington, and thank you to everybody who took the time to come out and listen to us. I ran 4 years ago, and I lost my election. Prior to that, I served for 8 years on the council. And having lost was a really good thing for me, because for the past 4 years, I have been able to take my knowledge from council and go back to the streets. And I mean literally the streets. I am under the bridges. I am on the streets. I am in the nasty hotels with our homeless, the most forgotten people in our city. And it brought a new perspective to me that we are not taking care of our residents really at any level. At the very foundation, we are crumbling, and that foundation is our financial situation. Council is not utilizing all of the tools that they have to make us a stronger, better city. Council, I know I heard some complaints about, oh, the way the budget went this year, it was so embarrassing, and to have that. I almost cheered. I thought, darn, they did their job. They came in, they were tough, they did their jobs, they weren't playing around. People need to remember those council meetings are council's business meeting. It's not a kumbaya, it's not anything, it is their business meeting, and how they conduct it is their business. Council needs to start really looking at ordinances. When we have the amount of discriminatory harassment lawsuits on our books, we are not having the proper ordinances, we are not having the proper services from our city attorney or our administration. The ordinances must be looked at because we serve the taxpayers. It is high time that the money is spent where the money should be. We need to really look at our CDBG funds. We need to look at our pilots, because most of our money comes from income tax and property tax. If we're not charging property tax for big developers, we have a problem. We have to do infill on housing. You want public safety, we're talking about home ownership, affordable home ownership. Transiency is what causes unaccountability and instability. So my reason for running is I have the experience. I can hit the ground running. I know how that budget works. I know how to work with my council members. And frankly, I will be honest, nothing against new council members, but I know it takes a long time to really learn the job. If I don't make it through, 50% of our council will have barely 2 years or less experience. To me, that's a little alarming. So I'm running because I figure with me, you get experience and you get somebody that knows what the job actually is, what we really can and cannot do, and what our tools are. And you get a new person. So I figured the best of both worlds. So that's why I'm running. I love my city. I'm not going to watch her fail without me doing something about it. Thank you.
Mr. Shi Kumar.
Good evening. Thank you for hosting this, and thank you all for coming out. My name is Farhan Shi Kumar. My family and I came to Lansing 17 years ago as a refugee, and we've been very fortunate to call Lansing home. I am running for Lansing City Council to bridge the gap between our local government and our community. As we sit here tonight, we have over 600 red tag properties in this city. Just last year, we had a toddler that died in this city because the property that his family and they were living in was not registered with the city, meaning that it never passed inspection, meaning that it didn't have any working smoke detector. We have many properties just like that in this city where people call home. I believe housing is a human right. I know what it's like not to live in a house and live in a tent. Lansing residents are being treated as third world citizens, and it's a shame. It is a shame for everything that's been taking place in this city. Yes, experience matters, but when you're talking about failed experience that has taken place over and over and over again in this city, it is time for us to turn the page and elect new leadership. We need new leadership. This city is dying. It's desperately in need of new leadership, new vision, not the same old politics that's been taking place for the past 17 years ago that I've been here. I'm only in my 20s. I could be doing other things. But the reason I'm running is because I love this city. I know this city has a lot of possibilities. And we can unlock those possibilities by investing back into the community, by investing into housing, healthcare, health services, mental health. Those are all important things that are missing in this city. We cannot afford another 4 more years of the same vision. The issues that are facing the city did not just happen overnight. The budget, that didn't happen overnight. The housing crisis, that didn't happen overnight. The infrastructure, that didn't happen overnight. The poor leadership, that didn't happen overnight. All of these things have been going on for years, ignored. Lansing residents have been neglected for years. And so it is time for change. We need change. We shouldn't have another toddler dying in this city. We shouldn't have people at the mercy of terrible landlords. These people are not living in these properties for free. They're paying money. It is time that we hold people accountable across the board. It doesn't matter what politics, what political party you're affiliated with. Accountability starts tonight, and it starts with electing new leadership and new vision for the next generation. Thank you.
Ms. Carter?
Good evening. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the League of Women Voters. I am Tamara Carter. I am extremely passionate about our city of Lansing. One of the reasons why, and primarily the reason why I've decided to run for Lansing City Council is the service that I already currently do. So my background is financial. I've been in the financial industry for over 16 years. I came to Lansing over 20 years ago. And when I became that financial branch manager, that is when my eyes opened to what Lansing can be. I serve several constituents here in Lansing and on the outskirts of Lansing as well. And one of the main things that come into my doors is the challenges that I'm hearing that our constituents are facing. And even let it be challenges or strengths, this is what I'm hearing. And so that's what made me more passionate to really serve. Outside of my work, I've also been very involved in a series of different communities that touch all of our Lansing area. So when I hear the people that come in and they talk about their day-to-day struggles and what keeps them up at night, I'm so shocked, and on top of that, I'm nervous for our community because I hear I had to choose whether I'm sleeping outside or I'm eating a meal. I'm hearing I don't have enough gas money because I had to pay rent, increased rent at that. I'm hearing all of these struggles and all of these challenges that people in Lansing are facing. And so I'm at a position where I'm like, what else can I do and what more can I do? And it starts with listening. I take pride in being accessible to our members. I take pride in being accessible to our community. And one of the things that I feel that is a gap is that we're not being heard. We meaning me as a constituent. I feel like we need to make sure that our voices are being heard and that it's not top down, but down to the top. It takes us as a community to make our city grow and thrive. It should not be a dictatorship. It should be where we're collectively coming together and we're having these ideals that matter for us. I think we as a people need to have more of a opportunity to share our thoughts, whether we agree or disagree. I think that equity and inclusion is a priority. And so again, I'm extremely passionate to really serve. I'm passionate to really listen to the community and hear what they have to say. And I'm truly gonna work hard to make sure that people are being heard and that people have the accessibility that they need in an economic development way, starting with the current economic issues and our homelessness and our safety in our neighborhoods. That's where we need to focus on, and so that we can thrive as a community. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Leachy?
Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the League of Women Voters and all of you who work tirelessly to help engage our constituents and have a fair voting process. I'm just a little starstruck as I'm sitting up here because I think all of you are great. No, we're not supposed to talk about other candidates, but this as a group, I think, is a very inspiring energy and a very inspiring group of people. And I'm running because I am in love with Lansing. I love it here so much. It feels to me like a living, breathing entity, and it needs a lot of nurturing, a lot of TLC. And I can feel the energy up here and the passion of everybody who loves the city. I think everybody who's here in the audience is here because of that. And probably everybody here has volunteered, run for office, done some type of engagement. And this is part of why I love the city so much, because of the people. I love the history also. We do have a lot of work to do, a lot of challenges. And I believe that the two biggest issues are systemic racism and poverty, and that everything else that we have to work on kind of falls under those two categories or can be traced back to those two categories. And as I've been running and hearing from people, I'm hearing that people are looking for a governance process that has debate, that has real conflict, but that is also functional in that debate and conflict. That there is a kindness, there is a respect. Kindness doesn't mean nice. Respect doesn't mean that you never disagree. But when we start othering each other and fighting a lot, we start siphoning off really critical energy that we need all hands on deck. We need all of our laser focus on solving the problems to increase the quality of life for everyone who lives here. So my hope is that I can serve. I'm really passionate about that governance process. I've learned that 7 years being twice elected on the Lansing School Board, overseeing that budget. And the people that I serve with there, I really admire them because everyone is very committed to that healthy debate. And we've all had, all of us on that school board have had experiences where we've heard things from the community that have made us shift our focus, maybe away from having us be the center of the focus to like, oh, someone else has a different perspective. And, that I think is a healthy experience to have. So I hope you vote for me, and I look forward to serving. Thank you.
Ms. Pelivanoglu?
Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Trini Lopez Pelivanoglu, and I am a candidate for Lansing City Council at large. I apologize, I'm not a natural at this, so I will just start out with telling you a little bit about myself. I was raised in Lansing, in South Lansing, and I currently reside in Southwest Lansing with my husband and our 4 children. We've decided that Lansing is a place where we wanted to live and raise our family. We love the diversity, we love the schools, everything about the city. But the city isn't without its problems. When I'm out in the community and speaking with people, more and more I hear their major concerns. Safety, roads, affordable housing are at the top of the list. I've been volunteering in the community since my oldest son was in school. It started at the school district. I've been volunteering for about 17 years, And throughout that time, participating in the PTAs, getting more involved with the school system, and also, joining other organizations along the way, I've been able to gain a very good perspective on different pockets of our city, different residences, what their needs are, what their wants are, what their hopes are for the city. I'm proud to say I've been a board member for Cristo Rey Community Center for the last 5 years. This is a center who provides services, including food, medical, mental health services, clothing for some of our most underserved residents. I truly believe in that work. I've also worked for the government for a majority of my career. For almost 20 years, I have worked at the county and state level of government, serving the public, providing information, balancing the needs between the constructs of working for the government and then delivering a high quality of service to our residents who are asking for help and reaching out because they have issues. So throughout my career, I think I've been able to gain a healthy perspective through working in the court systems, 30th Circuit Court, Eaton County Prosecutor's Office, as well as the Michigan Department of Attorney General, on how to really serve our community through my work. At this time, I work in continuous improvement with the Michigan Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs. Continuous improvement means that I work with teams every day in an equitable way to identify issues, find the root cause of those issues, and find solutions. That's what I'm dedicated to doing for the residents of Lansing, find solutions. I am a hard worker. I hope to earn your trust. I hope to earn your vote and prove myself as an effective city council member. I believe in Lansing, and I believe that we can get there together to a better future and city. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Michael Vandaguchi, running for Lansing City Council Ward 1, and I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters for having us today. I've lived in Lansing for the past 10 years, 6 of which have been in Ward 1. And on February 14th, which was Valentine's Day this year, I woke up and I didn't realize my life was going to change. So after the Michigan State shooting, my alma mater, my mother called me and told me that I had to be the change in the world that you want to see. And I've heard those words 1,000 times, and they really hit me that day. And so in the next couple days, I would talk to people, friends, acquaintances, my job, and everyone told me to go for it, that I should run. So with just a little research, I was able to see the turmoil that Ward 1's been in, and I thought for a long time, and so here I am today, humbly addressing all of you, and asking you as an equal that I want to be your representative for Ward 1. I want to be a leader that will work with all the parties associated with Ward 1 and that can help boost Lansing's economy by supporting and protecting small businesses while working hand in hand with large businesses to ensure the structure of our city remains creative, diverse, and beautiful. I want to see Lansing become the pinnacle of mid-Michigan, not just a place people pass over, but somewhere that people want to be. I want Lansing to be a place where everyone feels safe, and I want us to care about the small things and get back to community policing. I want to be a role model who will hold everyone, no matter their status, to the same degree of accountability and transparency, while also holding myself to the highest possible degree. I want to work with all sectors of the government towards the betterment of Lansing and her people, while exercising respect, dignity, and remaining professional. I want to advocate for the unhoused peoples and those who are going through a mental crisis to ensure that they have the tools available to them to make sure they are successful in some of the hardest times of their life. Thank you for listening to me today. Let's build Lansing together and vote Vandaguchi.
Thank you. Mr. Cost?
Thank you. Mr. Cost is my dad. Ryan is fine. I appreciate everyone coming tonight. I appreciate all the candidates. Nick, Jody, Farhan, Tamara, am I in order here? Missy, Trini, Mike, and Adam. I got really involved in the community. I'm the 4th generation of my family to live here in Lansing. My grandparents lived 2 blocks that way. I grew up at Morse Park Pool, and if you haven't heard, the state did pass a budget to fix that pool. So we are going to see that pool alive again, 101 years old. But anyways, I ran because I was out on the streets. I literally walked street to street in the Baker Denora neighborhood. The first ward is very diverse. Baker Denora neighborhood, Fabulous Acres, over in Potter Walsh, talking to folks, hearing what they needed with a wheelbarrow and a trash can, picking up trash, being involved in the community. I've been involved with the ENO, East Side Neighborhood Organization. If you don't know what that is, that's a community group on the East Side. And I decided to run. I didn't run with any money, anything like that. I won in November 2022 to finish off the term for the member that resigned. And I am now running for a full 4 years. I'm going to tell you what I have done, which is I immediately came into office and I got to work. January 1st, I was in my office at midnight. I started immediately. I spent my first 2 months weekends at that office. With me, what you get is you are going to get a response and you're going to get action taken. My number one priority has got to be our people, the people that call Lansing home. I remember people kept saying, if you love Lansing, prove it. I love Lansing. I didn't, we could live anywhere we wanted. But this is where I want to live. My roots are deep here. My grandma's name is on a plaque at that park. I care immensely about this city. It's in my DNA. My grandpa worked at Diamond Rio right up the street. I've got his name tag proudly in the First Ward office. And it was such an honor. It's an honor to serve the people of the First Ward, but we've got to build our communities up. 3 minutes is not enough. We have got to build our communities up. We can't have any economic development if our neighborhoods are falling apart. We have got to remember that the people are the most important thing. Our businesses are extremely important, especially our small local businesses. I was almost late because we had a small local business that has a serious problem. I was coming from there, helping her. That is what I do, and that is what I plan to continue to do the next 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hussein?
I'm a public school teacher. I project naturally, so if I'm too loud, let me know. In any event, I want to thank the league for thinking enough of these candidates, these races, and really the issues that are before the city and really affecting every stakeholder here in the city of Lansing. So enough to have this forum and to provide an opportunity for us to discuss our candidacies and obviously the issues. My name is Adam Hussein, and I am the current Southwest Lansing representative on the Lansing City Council. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Southwest Lansing, southwest of Pleasant Grove and Holmes. Came up through the public school system, Lansing public school system, sorry. I was raised by an incredibly strong single mother who worked 2 jobs and gave me just an incredible childhood and upbringing. That being said, I was a latchkey kid. My mother worked 2 jobs, and my community was every bit as impactful in the way I was raised and the prospects essentially that I was eventually able to grasp onto, as was my mother and my immediate family. So in any event, coming up, whether it be clean and safe parks, whether it was the Lansing School District, whether it was good reputable businesses that were homegrown, invested right here in the community that provided access to safe spaces, to reputable commercial, to entry-level positions, I was truly immersed in opportunity. I grew up in income-restricted housing, but I didn't know that I was in income-restricted housing. Truly, at every turn, there was opportunity. From my front porch, I saw, I felt, and again, I was immersed in opportunity. So very early on, in kind of post-high school, I decided that I wanted to be for other people, be part of the team here in the city of Lansing that was providing that type of opportunity for, as an example, our young people. And so I got involved in public education. I studied public education at Michigan State University and later on at Central Michigan University. Worked incredibly hard to become an educator in our community and was able to acquire a position in our community in about 2007. That being said, I also got to work in my own neighborhood and throughout Southwest Lansing. I joined the Parks Board because of the incredible potential of our parks and the impact that our parks had on me, on the other young people that I grew up with. I became my neighborhood watch coordinator because I understood the importance of community safety, of working with stakeholders at the city level, with the Lansing Police Department and the like. I jumped on about 2007 onto my neighborhood association's board of directors. All that being said, through the advocacy over about maybe 16 to 17 years, one of the things that I struggled with most was the crickets and really the tone-deaf response that we got from the 9th and 10th floors of City Hall. So in 2015, I decided to take my advocacy to another level, and I ran for City Council. In that time, this time goes by quick. In that time,
Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'd like to thank the candidates who were here this evening, and at this time, I'll read a statement from candidate D. Taft, who was not able to be here. And so I'm reading directly from his statements. I, candidate D. Taft, would like to thank the League of Women Voters Lansing for their dedication to empowering voters and defending democracy. In my absence, I respectfully offer my replies to their 2023 Vote 411 and Voter Guide questionnaire for your consideration. Question 1. What special qualification do you bring to the role as a member of the Lansing City Council? With special being an adjective defined as different from what is usual, I state the unobvious fact that the Lansing City Council do not have an All-American African male seated on the council. All-American African means both parents are descendants of formerly known Negro. I am the first male in my family born after the Civil Rights Act of 1964. I spent the first 13 years of my life learning from my great-grandmother. She was born in 1897, the daughter of 2 former slaves. She would tell me the family stories dating back to the late 1700s as told to her by former slave parents and grandparents. She would end by telling me how fortunate I am to benefit from the hundreds of years of work it took for our family to get free and gain civil rights. She wasn't bitter about our journey, as she lay optimistic about the future of our family and country. I think she'd be amazed to see how much multicultural our family and country have become. I will bring soul and common sense to my compassion as my compass to the council. Question 2. What issue do you want to address if you are elected to the council? Public safety is the main issue. According to the FBI, Lansing is ranked as the 17th most violent city in America. I plan to deter crime with technological tools, including efficient, sturdy, citywide surveillance and rapid response drones. Technological tools will provide situational awareness to law enforcement by allowing them to verify situations, promptly identify threat, and improve response time. Technological tools will immediately deter crime, and as cases begin to be solved and criminals realize they will likely be caught, potential offenders will commit fewer crimes. This will increase the quality of life in our community because a safe environment will attract families and businesses and increase confidence and productivity. Our residents deserve to live their best lives in this great city without the fear of being a victim of a crime. I think we have to balance privacy and safety as we upgrade our law enforcement and community into this technological era. Question 3, how should, and at this point I need to stop because the 3 minutes are up that the other candidates had. This concludes our presentation for the evening. And at this time, the League of Women Voters, in collaboration with the Lansing Public Media, would like to thank the candidates for their participation. The video of tonight's presentation will play on the City TV channel and will be available on demand on the City of Lansing YouTube channel. A link to the video will also be available on the League website and on vote411.org. Audience members are now encouraged to visit the candidates as they spread out around the room and ask questions, any questions that you may have. Thank you for being concerned citizens who care about the future of Lansing, and please remember to vote in the primary election on August 8th, 2023. Together, we are making democracy work. Thank you to everyone who participated this evening.